I can't wait for this.
Skip. I'm going to be 100% honest. This is all heart pick.
Really?
All heart. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. When you look at this offense, they're fifth in rush offense, third in pass, second in total offense, number one in scoring. They were number one in big plays.
Okay.
And
Quick point of order. Just explain quickly before you go on with your analysis. All heart because you live in Atlanta?
Yeah, and
Because Matt Ryan is your neighbor, as you've said several times?
yeah, that's
Is that it? Is that the all heartness to the pick?
yeah.
Okay. All right, go on.
They're number one in big plays, and they're defined big plays in NFL terminology as anything 20 yards or more. They're number one in that category. Matt Ryan is playing at his all-time best, and I believe for him to finally show the validation of why he was selected with the third pick in the draft, why everyone believed that he was a franchise quarterback, this will solidify it for him. And if you look at some of the other quarterbacks, they got to their first Super Bowl in year 9. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. And I believe this is what this young man will do. Offensively, those two running backs, Devontae Freeman, Coleman, they do a great job of running the football, but they also cause so many problems in the passing game because they do a great job of splitting those guys out, putting them in the slot, putting them out wide, and letting them go one-on-one with your safeties or linebackers. The Falcons are also tied, and you love this stat, the fewest turnovers with the New England Patriots. They don't turn the ball over at home. And for me, I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers. I believe he'll throw somewhere between 350 and 400 yards, but he doesn't play defense. And I believe Matt Ryan is playing at an all-time best. And with that being said, I know Julio says he doesn't like to take, medicine for that turf toe.
I heard him say that.
But I believe for this game, knowing that how close he is to a Super Bowl, I believe he might take that pain-killing injection just to make sure he can get through the entirety of this game. I got the Falcons 42, Packers 34.
42 to 34. So that's a fairly significant gap. That's an 8 points, so they would cover, obviously, right? What is it, up to about 5 right now?
Yeah, I think it's 5.
Okay. So I have been waiting since last night to hear your pick because I figured I was going to be amused or maybe baffled by it because it felt to me last night like you were finally backed into a can't-win corner with your pick here.
I am.
Because if I can sort of re-navigate the last 4 months of Undisputed with some psychoanalysis sort of interlaced. So you did switch off your preseason pick, which was Seattle to win the NFC,
Correct.
right? And I had to make notes on this because it was hard for me to follow. But okay, so then you at some point, I'm not sure where it was, you jumped on the Atlanta bandwagon. I think it wasn't until December, maybe, somewhere in December. And in part, you began to say, because Matt Ryan's the MVP, but you did qualify or disqualify that he's your neighbor in Atlanta. So there was some heart going on in that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Matt Ryan is the MVP, although I think you got inside information, maybe from Matt Ryan himself. Maybe somebody tipped him off. I don't know. But you think he's going to win the MVP, and he well might. But meanwhile, this is what was intriguing to me about what happened through the month of November. You actually joined me in criticizing your new man, Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yes.
Because I thought through November, maybe late October into November, you were even more critical of Aaron Rodgers than I ever was on this show because you were criticizing his apologists for saying, oh, his receivers can't get open when he loses, but then when he would win, they give all the credit to Aaron Rodgers, and you'd say, well, he's still got those same receivers. How did they suddenly get open this game, right?
Exactly.
Is that fair?
That's very fair.
Okay. So you shocked me because as Aaron Rodgers fell all the way to 4-6, I thought you were completely off his bandwagon to the point that you were puncturing all the tires in his bandwagon, right?
No.
No? No? Okay, well, that's just the way it came across to me. And I thought, wow, Shannon really saw the light and came over to the dark side over here, right? Like the anti-Aaron side. But then on November 28th at Philadelphia, Aaron Rodgers and company flipped that switch. And they won a game. I wasn't even sure they could win that. I can't remember which way I picked that game, but they won 27-13. And Philly was kind of a tough place to play for some people.
Defense played really well at home. They took the ball away.
Yep, they did. So all of a sudden, your switch flipped also on Aaron Rodgers. And before I knew it, as they started to win games, they went from 4-6, and then all of a sudden it's 5-6, 6-6. And after he had said, he guaranteed, right, that he was going to run the table.
We can run the table.
He said, I think we can run the table, which most people now in the iconic lore of Aaron Rodgers has become a Super Bowl guarantee.
We just removed the think.
Okay, the think is gone. So it's now, he's gone down in Super Bowl history as predicting that he's going to win the Super Bowl. But it's okay. I accept that. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing across the table that Aaron Rodgers, that you had criticized so harshly, is now suddenly historically great. Then he was transcendent. Then I went to transcendental, and you love that. So then he became transcendentally great. Yes. And not to mention just all-time special, right?
Yes.
The greatest thrower of the football we've ever witnessed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now my mind's getting blown over here because we went from anti to not only pro, but you are the leader of the Aaron Rodgers, so to speak, pack, as in Packers, because you're his biggest fan. You've almost become, it's almost become your new LeBron of the NFL is Aaron Rodgers.
My thing with the only problem that I have had is that they criticize his receivers. His receivers are still not getting open. He's just fitting the ball into those tight windows.
Yeah.
So you can't say his receivers are not getting open when they lose, but then say he's great when they win, because those are the same receivers.
They are.
Now he's just making the throws that he was missing. That's all.
Okay. So then, as we know from last Sunday, unfortunately, and I hate to reiterate this, but thanks to two bizarre hand of God field goals off the foot of one Mason Crosby at 56 and 51 yards, my Cowboys are now out of your hair. And actually, Aaron Rodgers is off the hook for blowing a 21-3 lead, and he had a lot to do with blowing that lead at Jerry World last Sunday. And all of a sudden, here we go.
It's only a lead if you lose.
Okay, but he blew it. It got to 28 all and 31 all. But the point is, here we have historically great Aaron Rodgers colliding with another bandwagon, the Matt Ryan MVP bandwagon. And so I wasn't sure how you're going to sell or couch this, but that was a good way to go, because you just said you're speaking straight with your heart, but not with your head, right?
And I had Matt Ryan as the MVP since October. I told you that earlier when we voted. We talked about what about Tom Brady and all these other guys. I said Aaron Rodgers right now is the MVP. I have not moved off that platform. Matt Ryan.
Yes, except you've also told me that Aaron Rodgers is playing at the highest level of quarterback anybody's ever played.
He is.
And so, at least for the last 6 regular season games, you didn't think he made a run at MVP? Or, did he not deserve?
Yes, I think he and Tom Brady, but I think Matt Ryan, because he's been the most consistent from start to finish. They're going to hold those 4 games missed against Tom Brady. They're going to hold those 10 games that Aaron Rodgers was not his historically great self against him.
Yeah, I mean, too many voters will hold Deflategate against Tom Brady, in my opinion, so he's out.
But if you look at from start to finish, Matt Ryan has been the most consistent. He has the 8th highest scoring offense in NFL history, and that speaks volume. I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers. But here's the thing. Devontae Adams has yet to practice. Geronimo Allison has yet to practice. Jordy Nelson with those ribs. It's one thing, but you got to run, Skip. You got to catch the ball. You got to stretch out to catch the ball, and then they're going to tackle you. You're going to fall on those ribs. So playing is one thing for those receivers. Playing well is something entirely different.
Okay, I hear you. Yet, bottom line, the truth is, this is just me looking at you across the table. You are my brother now, right?
Yep.
We are partners in crime here, right?
You going Aaron Rodgers?
I'm going Aaron Rodgers because I believe in your head it's screaming Aaron Rodgers. That's what I believe is happening right now, because if you really and truly believed in Aaron Rodgers the way you do, and I see it in your eyes every day, you believe it the way you believe in LeBron James.
I do.
So if you really and truly believe in him, if he's the hottest quarterback ever, if he's that rare, if he's that all-time great, you got to go with Green Bay in this game.